Lie, what's goody, y'all boys? What's good? I ain't gonna lie. State of the Origin Game 2, 2025. Hell of a game. Hell of a game. Hell of a game. Hell of a game. Maroons came out first half, did they thing. Blues came out second half, did they thing. Maroons finished on top though. The penalties with the ref. I ain't gonna lie. I was talking about boxing the ref mid game. He was calling them things. I ain't gonna lie. He was calling some of them things. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't rocking with being a Blues fan, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You gotta let stuff go. You know what I'm saying? Especially a nigga like me, he don't really know what he talking about. You know what I'm saying? Nigga just watching the sport for the love of the game. You know what I'm saying? But it's all cool though. Let's get to it though. We got it. Let me quit yapping. Let's see what these boys talking about at the table. NRL 360. It says Ado, Buzz, and Tallis clash over lopsided penalty count. I ain't gonna lie. Watching the game, I seen they was talking about the penalties. That was crazy. That knowing that like playing sports, knowing that one team got basically hella fouls and the other team didn't. That's crazy. Let's see what these boys talking about though. Dearden defies critics to deliver on bigger stage. Let me quit yapping. Let's see what these boys talking about. Let me learn some more about y'all boys. Great game. Rugby Origin Game 2. I ain't gonna lie, it was a great game though. Let me quit yapping
Player of the match, led the team superbly. Is he the long-term?
In Munster we trust. Is that what it is though? In Munster we trust. Shout out Munster.
Absolutely. Do you know what? I think he's waited for this moment. You know how you're just not sure, but when he got it, how he addressed it. We spoke to him last Sunday on radio. And he actually put everything on himself, which means that he owned the side.
In Munster we trust. I ain't gonna lie. I love Munster when he playing for the Storm. I ain't gonna lie. I just like Munster in general. I ain't gonna lie. He's a dog. I fuck with Munster. He's a dog. He's a baller. You can tell.
Absolutely outstanding.
You can tell. Hey,
leaders coming.
Shout out to the bro. He got that dub too.
What I found interesting, Gordy and Buzz, was he wasn't always the most logical choice, Cameron Munster, because he isn't the captain for the Melbourne Storm, and you've got Harry Grant, who is, and then you've also got players like Tino and other senior figures that are in that.
Well,
Maroons.
Ponga's a captain in Newcastle. Reuben Cotter is a captain.
Okay, so he basically had 5 or half a dozen choices that he could have gone with, but clearly Billy, being the sharp tactician that he is, has thought, okay, well, which players going to lift the most, and which
in Munster we trust. My bad, let me quit yapping, but I'm telling you, I love Munster, bro. He a little dog when he play for them Storm. He a little dog. I ain't switching on my Blues, though. Never
responsibility,
that.
And it's that carefree larrikin that Cameron can sometimes be. He's also got a steely focus, and he just that added responsibility. He revelled in it.
Yeah, I thought he came of age as a rugby league player last night. The all-round rugby league player.
I ain't fucking with that. He cut the mustache though. I need my stash Munster, man. That's the little dirty Munster nigga out here that can't stop me. That's
and
the nigga
was
I need.
his body language and the way he discussed things with the referee. Remember, there was a general warning, and he politely said, "Is that a warning, sir?" And you know and then he went down and he told all his players, and I couldn't believe it was the Cameron Munster of 2 or 3 years ago.
And he enjoyed the moment. Like, he scored that try, he went back. He was rallying the troops. He was getting the crowd behind him. It was a fantastic night.
I'm proud of him because you talk about those moments where he's not the captain of Melbourne and the larrikin, and you know, having his issues years ago. And I think over time, a lot of people probably haven't taken him serious in that department as a leader. And he's always believed that he is one. I know it hurt him not getting the captaincy at Melbourne, and that's something that we sort of spoke about. And be given the captaincy of Queensland, which is everything to him, was I could tell, you know, when he got it, how much it meant to him, and you could see by his performance what it means to him. But he was under a lot of pressure too. Like, you didn't want to come out. You come in as the underdog.
The coach was under the pump. The
Queensland he was under hella pressure. I ain't gonna lie.
Enormous pressure. Buzz. Like, you think of all the champions that have worn that number 6 jumper from
talking crazy about Billy. Yeah, they ain't gonna lie. They talking crazy about my nigga Billy. Talking crazy about my nigga Billy and my nigga Cam out here. Like, coach, I know when they gotta play. Like, you out here talking crazy. The coach, I know when they gotta suit up, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel it though. I ain't gonna lie. In Munster we trust. If I was in Maroon, that's what I'd be saying right now. In Munster we trust. That nigga did his thing.
Kevin Walters
did enough and got that W.
Cameron to go out, and J2,
first half
for
offense
Cameron to go
was
out
flowing.
and produce the all-round dominant leadership display that he did, to credit them.
What about Harry Grant? We were the first to be critical of him and his performance in game one. And I think he would admit he didn't play great in game one. But what a response. Like, he went back to Melbourne, played the 80 minutes last weekend, and with the intention of getting, like a horse, really getting himself set for the race, which was yesterday or last night. And boy, did he deliver. He was outstanding, Gordy.
I think 50-odd tackles as well. Obviously, he had a poor night in
that's
game
one thing.
one, but that's how you want him to come out and respond, and he did that. He went back to Melbourne Storm, was fantastic. They do get at him a lot. They try to take away his energy, but just the way he steered him around the park and really tough conditions for like both sides last night. I thought Harry was absolutely outstanding.
When we sat here and critiqued his performance after State of Origin 1 and the Maroons had lost 18-6 and Harry, by his own admission, had taken some wrong options, we said at the time he won't play 2 games as bad as that. And last night, once again, he just vindicated what a champion he is.
See, I'm not as good as, like, seeing the niggas like Harry Grant, how they roll, how good he out there doing. I'm not as, see, I ain't seen a game like that yet. I'm gonna get there though, you feel me? Shout out Harry Grant though. Nigga ballin', I see you. I shout out little Harry, but
Buzz, you must
ballin'.
Yeah, well, didn't Reedy want to put him on the bench?
No, Reedy wanted
good ball, set him up, money.
Yeah, he wanted Ruben Cotter at hooker.
Yeah, look, Harry Grant.
He's only a part-time Queenslander, Reedy, don't forget.
Harry Grant's the best hooker forward in the country at the moment. He showed.
He talking crazy. That's how y'all feeling? Harry Grant, best player in the country, best forward in the country, and he that guy. That's how we feeling.
Night. And look, every player at this level is going to have a bad night, right? And he had a shocker. Let's be serious. In game one, it just was not him. But if they pick an Australian side tomorrow, he would be one of the first chosen as the hooker. Yeah. He was brilliant last night.
All right, what about the coach, Billy Slater? He is the hero today, but there was a hell of a lot of drama leading up to this game. You mentioned it. Had to apologise to the Paul Green family. Had the dramas with Aaron Woods in the press conference the day before that. And if he hadn't have got the result last night,
they made my nigga Billy apologise. Hey, if I was Billy, I'd have been like, I'm standing on straight business. Fuck you, Tanner. I said what I said. Fuck you. Let me chill out.
What pressure he would have been feeling this morning. So it was a monumental
Billy,
result.
that guy right now, though.
Yeah, it was. And look, what he said on game eve was unfortunate and it was wrong. He should never have said that. From that moment, though, his phone call to Amanda Green, to me, showed the real Billy Slater, a man with a lot of class, who owned up to making a terrible mistake and upsetting the Green family with the way Paul was brought into the story. I do know Amanda Green, Paul's wife, has spoken to Jess Halloran in The Australian this afternoon and released a statement. And Amanda is completely fine now with Billy Slater. She really, really appreciated and respected his phone call. They were upset when they saw the press conference, but she's forgiven, and she made it clear she's got a lot of time for Billy. And I think it's a nice ending to a very, very unfortunate story.
Pressure can do incredible things to coaches
My
in the
nigga Billy
Origin
good,
arena,
man.
and we saw it a few seasons ago with Freddie Fittler, who when he first came in had a fantastic start.
You gotta think, bro. My nigga out here trying to coach y'all niggas. Everybody in his ear about the decisions he making, bro. Like, niggas don't know coaching not easy, but that's the problem. I feel like people forget niggas like, especially niggas like me, niggas like us. We quick to criticize coaches and shit, but we know how hard that shit really is. That shit ain't easy, especially in these days when you got to deal with media too. Just extra bullshit for no reason. I'm sitting here trying to coach. I got a motherfucker in a suit and tie talking about what I'm, nigga, you ain't doing, you know what I'm saying? Let's be real, you ain't doing shit I'm doing, nigga. I'm coaching out here.
To his career.
I'm in the field
in
for
charge
real,
of the
nigga.
Blues, brought in, the yoga and the
like Billy said last
whole
time,
raft
it's
different
easier
range
from them
style
seats.
of,
It is though.
looking
It's
at
facts.
things, but
That's
then
all I love, though.
After losing a
Niggas is
series
doing
in
their job.
2020, and the wheels started to come off a little bit. Well, you could really see that the pressure started to get to Freddie, and it felt as though watching Billy in the press conference the day before.
Niggas
last
got emotions.
night,
So them
that
shit's
clearly
gonna
the pressure was starting to get to him, and I think he would acknowledge that now. That I had no issue with what he said, aside from when he brought up Paul Green. I thought, okay, well, I can't really see the correlation there.
No, his apology was genuine, and I believed every bit of it. But you can't overlook what he did that day, and bringing the Paul Green family into it. Suicide's a horrible thing, and they'll be grieving for the rest of their lives. As I said last week, I
ain't mean to offend nobody. If I offended somebody saying some shit, shout out Paul Green, and man, suicide ain't no joke. I don't even want to say that. You feel me? You feel me? Shout out to the bro. I don't know. Hey, Billy, you was tweaking, nigga. I don't know what the fuck that nigga Billy said. Yeah, but hey. That ain't no shit to play about, Billy.
And hopefully he learnt from it, Billy, Like, I think and we've spoken about coaches in the past, like, it's how you react when you're under pressure that really shows what you're made of, and that's what gives you longevity in our game, is how you respond to pressure.
I'm gonna lie, every coach, though, that's what... Every coach had his moment, though. You know what I'm saying? The moment of just... Man, fuck everybody, nigga. The moment that they show the players, they let everybody see one time. You know what I'm saying? This shit, the players been knew about that. Hey, coach crazy. You feel me? You ex-player, yeah, coach crazy, nigga. But then it's the one time where everybody else see it.
The great coaches respond so well, So I think it was a good learning curve for him. But his response in terms of on the field and the players, they definitely aimed up for him, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely, and he owned that moment. Yeah, you know what, you do feel the pressure, you know what I mean? And I feel, I'm not even part of it now, but just like around Origin, and like I was up in Cairns yesterday, and what it means, and when you coach New South Wales or play, like you feel that pressure. And I couldn't imagine going out there, sitting in the box, you've done everything possible, and Wayne Bennett say, like, I feel helpless, like you feel like you can't do anything as a coach, you'd rather be playing, and like they sit there, and we always critique them, but it's a high-pressure job, coaching Queensland and New South Wales, and they do it fantastic.
I tell you what, is a high-pressure job too, Gordy, being a referee. So let's get to the penalty count.
Facts. Hey, facts. Hey, probably the worst job in sports. Facts. But hey, it's a great job, but it's probably the worst job in sports.
I know you were filthy, and there's probably a lot of New South Wales fans waiting for this moment.
But come on, man, you get your job is your job though. 9-0, that's crazy.
When we talk about the penalty count, 8-0 in the first half to Queensland. Were New South Wales that ill-disciplined?
I think New South Wales were ill-disciplined, and I don't have too many problems.
That's kind of, hold up, my bad, I'll be having it. That's kind of what remind me of what happened in the first game. It's kind of that feeling I had watching it, where Maroons had a lot of errors and penalties that I feel like they was beating themselves. That's kind of how it was with the Blues in this game. It's like the penalties, they beating themselves. It's like you can't keep getting up these penalties. I don't know, you blame. I don't know if it's the ref fault though or they fault. I ain't too educated to know, but when you got penalties though, and the other team is not, and the other team is playing disciplined and clean game, there's no way you win. You know what I'm saying?
With the 8 penalties, no way it goes good for you. The problem I do have is that anyone can look at that first half of football on a replay and find 4 or 5 areas of the game where Queensland could quite easily.
My nigga Luau's a crash out. My nigga Rome's a crash out.
The game where Queensland could quite easily have been penalised as well. In my eyes, he was refereeing one side for a majority of that first half. I know we're ill-disciplined, and I'm not even blunt.
Y'all agree with Unc, man. Y'all agree with Grandpa, man. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know. Y'all let me know. Y'all agree with him?
It for the loss, because we had our chance in the second half to get back. But Gordy, you cannot be perfect in Origin for 45 minutes. It's impossible.
Well, we were.
But you weren't.
We were. I read about it.
I feel it.
You weren't.
We weren't. No, look, mate, listen, we didn't talk about it. In Game 2 last year, when we got blown off the park, I think there was 6 or 7 set restarts, and we couldn't keep up. When you're defending and you're losing the battle, you do come up with it. We had the ball, we had the momentum. It's hard to give away.
That one hurt. This one clearly tried. That one hurt. I ain't gonna lie, that one hurt, man. That one hurt.
In the battle, you do come up with it. We had the ball, we had the momentum. It's hard to give away a penalty when you got the ball. But when the shoe was on the other foot in the second half, we were struggling. That's when, it was coming. But
It is.
I didn't
it's
notice it.
unheard of. It's
I didn't think it was that bad.
I thought you brought Barry
You guys
Gomersall
ate.
back.
Oh,
I
come
thought
on.
you brought
That's
Barry
when I
Gomersall,
said-
the grasshopper
You guys
back.
got 8.
Gordy fair
right?
dinkum, 8
With set restarts, right? Set restarts and penalties, you got 8. We ended up with 12.
Well, what?
12, so 2.
Yeah.
2 So there's not much difference. So we got 4 more than you guys. And you're blaming the ref?
No, in all seriousness.
He said he ain't blaming the ref, Gordo.
But I said it's outrageous that Queensland can play 45 minutes in State of Origin, that intensity, mistakes are made, high speed, under pressure, not one penalty.
I'm not blaming
that cannot happen. It's impossible.
I'm not blaming
Hey, do you know Billy's only won? That's probably the second penalty count he's won in all the games he's coached.
But I bet you was never down 8-0.
I know, but do we ever whinge about it? That's my point.
No, well, as I said, I'm not whinging about it, but I'm...
I feel it. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, on the losing side, you always want to blame the ref. You know what I'm saying? That's especially the easy way. You know what I'm saying? We always want to blame the ref. But 8, like he said though, like OG saying, like Unc saying, 8-0. First half, high stakes game. That's crazy. People make penalties. People make mistakes. People have penalties. I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's definitely crazy. But like my boy Big Gordo, he popping his hit because he got the W. You feel me? He up here talking. He got his maroon on. He like niggas thought we was gonna lose. He talking his shit. I feel it. He like, you gonna cry over 8? We go through this every game. What you talking about? This every day for us. You crying because you feel me? I feel it.
As I said, I'm not whinging about it, but I'm just...
like it.
I'm not whinging about it.
I said the better side won. In my view, the better side won.
It was unusual.
And no side is perfect. And you do make some valid points.
I don't think the better
perfect.
side won.
And yeah, New South Wales probably deserved it. I don't know. I didn't... like you'd have to go back and watch the game. But I don't think that we were that bad.
It was unusual. I was geeing up when I mentioned Barry Gomersall from back in the day. But if you actually look at it, I went through it, went in the lab today and went over it with a fine-tooth comb. I reckon 95% of the penalties. There was maybe one that was a little bit 50-50, but aside from that...
There's a couple here I thought, like, he blew the whistle quick, dominant tackle on his back and gives that one away. There's a couple that I thought were dubious that... And was it this one here, maybe he gets him on his back... no, this isn't it. No, that's a penalty. That's the other one. Yeah, no, there was one here. This one here with Hudson Young, I think it is.
And the ball comes out.
Yeah, like he just blows a penalty. Like, what's the penalty for? I don't know if it's holding down or not. So, but what I'm trying to say is, like, you looked at most of them, like you said, and they were clear penalties. I don't think there was really any, but all the 50-50 calls, like them, they all went Queensland, and you won't see that again. So this is the thing. Yeah, it's great. Queensland were fantastic, deserved the win. New South Wales had their shot, but you're not going to see that again. You're not going to see an 8-0 penalty count again. Game 3 is going to be a hell of a lot different. The referees will take notice of that as well. So
Game 3 is going to be physical.
Have to be even better. He's Klein under pressure, Buzz. Like, how have the NRL commented at all about the refereeing?
I spoke to key people at the NRL today, and they hadn't done a proper review of the match, and the Blues hadn't reviewed it either. I spoke to Dave Trodden. He said what I said, we were beaten fair and square on the night. But he did say Laurie will look at the video, find out what he wants to talk to the NRL about, and then take it to, for adjudication.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, ref probably made mistakes, you know what I'm saying? But he human. You can only take it what it is. For it to be 8-0, it probably feel crazy, you know what I'm saying? First half, these niggas we ain't get one penalty, these niggas get 8. They probably feel crazy. I ain't gonna lie, probably feel crazy, but it just probably how the ball fold that day. I ain't gonna lie, probably just how it went.
So, was it all about it?
I haven't spoken to Loz.
I don't even think they should trip on it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he was furious after the game.
We ain't got to review
furious, but he knows he can't come out and say anything. Not just for the fine, but it looked like poor sportsmanship after, a loss like that.
It didn't help. They made a lot of errors, and their attack wasn't great at all in that first half.
And they, in fairness as well to Queensland, the Blues did get some rugby room with a 6 against. Like in the opening half, they had 3, Queensland had 2. So I don't think you can't use that as an excuse for why the Blues were beaten.
Definitely not the excuse why they was beating, if you ask me. I ain't gonna lie, it was just a game of two halves. I ain't gonna lie, I was seeing this. Them young bucks, them under 19s, I be seeing the clips of them. Hey, shout out to them young bucks. They be getting money. I was lucky you want to watch it. I ain't gonna lie, let me quit yapping though. Shout out to our boys, man. Shout out to the Maroons. Great win. That boy Gordo popping in. Yeah, hey, Gordo saying, hey, what you want? We won. Thank you. I feel it. Shout out Gordo, man. Shout out to our boys, man. Shout out to the Blues, man. Shout out to the Maroons, man. Shout out to our boys in Australia, New South Wales, Queensland, wherever you may be, man. New Zealand, Auckland. I don't know no place else. Fuck it, you feel me? But shout out to y'all boys gang, bro. Appreciate y'all, bro. Just a nigga at the crib, man. Ready to brush.